Guys, a mother in Chicago has lost her visiting rights, her parental visiting rights to see her son. All right, now I don't know, what kind of mother this is. This is not that type of story where they disclose the information, whether she was abusive, whether she was a crackhead, nothing like that. Basically, the reason that they're giving for denying this mother access to her son is vaccination status. Okay, vaccination status. And we're going to talk about it. What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Before I start off, I want to give a big old shout out to my buddy, Nina Infinity, because actually the first time I saw this story was when she posted it on Twitter. Okay, so big shout out to Nina Infinity. Go check out her channel. I'm going to leave the link to her channel in the description box because it's a wonderful channel. She's a beautiful woman and she talks about all types of things. But the thing that I appreciate the most and respect the most about her is that she devotes a lot of her channels to talking about positive things, good news, and this is something that we really, really badly need, and the mainstream media being sensationalistic the way that they are, if it bleeds, it leads. They really don't cover shit like this. You know what I mean? So big shout out to Nina Infinity for the job that she's doing over there. Much love. And she did post this video, or this story, I should say, about a mother in Chicago who lost her parental visiting rights to her son when the judge found out that she had not gotten the jab. Okay, so let's get into this story, guys, because this is something we should all know about, because going forward, this could become relevant in other custody cases, okay? So this particular link that I'm reading from is on yahoo.com, all right, Yahoo News, and it says here, Judge strips Chicago mother of parental rights for not being vaccinated. It goes on to say, a Chicago mother is appealing a court order that revoked her parental visiting rights because she declined to be vaccinated against the coronavirus. Now, this is where people are going to act like they're not surprised and they don't have a problem with it, even though nobody saw this coming, if they're honest about it. But I just love how people just keep going with the flow and keep moving the goalposts further and farther back. That line in the sand is starting to disappear. You're pretty much telling them just come in and just run our lives. This is not what freedom looks like, guys. But anyway, when Rebecca Ferlit and her ex-husband of 7 years participated in a child support hearing via video call on August 10th for the purpose of determining the terms of shared custody of their 11-year-old son, Cook County Judge James Shapiro inquired about Ferlit's vaccination status. Why? I don't know. Once again, it seems like this violates a person's personal, information, health information. I didn't think that was allowed, but especially when you're dealing with something that has nothing to do with that, okay? But anyway, after Ferlit told the judge she did not receive the vaccine because of adverse reactions she has to other vaccines, he ordered her to be stripped of her parental right to visit her son until she's been vaccinated. I think that is wrong. I think that it's dividing families, and I think it's not in my son's best interest to be away from his mother, Ferlit told local Fox affiliate WFLD. You think so? See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Why would anybody think that it's a good idea to separate a son from his mother? You're thinking about separating the mother from the son. But what does it do to a child? Now, keep in mind all of the shit that these children are going through as it is. But on top of that, somebody thinks it's a good idea to separate the son from his mother. Okay? Ferlit, who has spoken with her son on the phone and through video calls, hasn't visited in person in over 2 weeks in compliance with the judge's orders. 2 weeks without a hug from your mom. All right, now this is assuming that the mom is not abusive or the mom is not a crackhead. I tend to think that there's probably some more to this story, but the fact of the matter is that the way it's being reported, it's that fact. The fact that she did not have the jab that led to her being denied access to her son. Okay, I'm sure there's a larger context, but this seems to be what he based the ruling on, okay? It had nothing to do with what we're talking about, she said of her vaccination status. He was placing his views on me and taking my son away from me. Ferlit's lawyer, Annette Fern-Hulse, said the issue was not within Shapiro's purview. You have to understand, the father did not even bring this issue before the court. So it's the judge on his own and making this decision that you can't see your child until you're vaccinated, Fernholz said. Jeffrey Levine, who represents the boy's father, expressed surprise by Shapiro's decision, but said they were supportive. Okay, this is the lawyer of the father. There are children who have died because of COVID. About 0.00% to 0.02 or 22%, 0.22% of children have died from this, okay? And most of them had pre-existing conditions, so fuck that bullshit. Okay, so he said there are children who have died because of COVID. I think every child should be safe, and I agree the mother should be vaccinated. Now, that's your opinion. Okay, but see, this is where the story gets bad, guys, for all of us, because we're the ones who are giving this shit away. We're giving it all away. All right, common sense would have to come into play here. Why you would allow your personal business to be exploited this way, so now it's on the books in court records that you can deny parents the rights over their children based on their vaccination status. This has nothing to do with this man and whatever he was going through with his wife. He allowed himself to be exploited this way to the detriment of the rest of us, because now that past practice has been established, what's to stop future cases from going this way? And what if both parents decide they don't want to be vaccinated? Now you have the court that can step in and say, well, I believe that you guys should be vaccinated, so we're going to remove the child for the child's own safety, in the face of the minuscule amount of children who actually pass away from this terrible disease. All right, now I'm all for keeping children safe, and I don't believe that any child should die at all. You know what I mean? But life and death is something we're not going to be able to escape. The government can't protect us from dying any more than it could have stopped us from being born. All right. Even though abortion laws, have taken care of that too. So, you just see government overreach all over this. OK. In recent weeks, debates have raged about necessary protocols to prevent transmission of COVID-19 as students throughout the country prepare to return to in-person instruction in the fall. While some states, such as New York, have moved toward mandating masks in school and implementing vaccine requirements for educators, others, including Florida, have banned the practices, which their leaders say infringe on personal freedom. The United States has experienced more than 38 million cases of COVID-19, with 52% of the population fully vaccinated against the disease, even though we're still suffering from breakthrough infections at a rate that they don't want to report. Okay, the United States. Anyway, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Okay, so the United States has experienced more than 38 million cases of COVID-19, with 52% of the population fully vaccinated against the disease, according to the CDC. Okay, so that's the end of that article, guys. And I just feel that we should all know about this because, like I said, common sense has to prevail. This thing is only going to get as bad as we let it. And if we go into court and use this to manipulate the outcome of cases in our favor, the ramifications on the greater society will be immense. You know what I mean? So the father, who's done this, you're an asshole for this, okay? Like I said, I don't know all of the details of this case, but if the mother was a bad mother, then let it be on those grounds. Don't let it be on her health issues that don't threaten the child, okay? Children are very, very lightly affected by this virus, okay? Are there children who have passed away? Yes, they are. It's not as much as you're being led to believe, by the way, but it's the thought of a child dying that scares all of us. None of us want to think about children dying or suffering or anything like that, all right? But we have to look at the science of this. This mother she's no danger to her son, unless the son does actually have a pre-existing condition. You can't really tell a lot from this story, but I don't like the fact at all that we have a judge that can rule to deny a parent access to their child based upon their vaccination status. Like I said before, it's not hard to see where this could go wrong for all of us. And parents, it's your decision. Like I said, there are plenty of parents who are married who decided that they don't want to get the jab. Are we saying now that a judge can intervene and say, take that child away from the parents? We really have to think about this thing, guys. Look at what's going on in the rest of the world. It's not just what's going on in your particular country. This thing is getting way out of control. And I'm only reporting the story because it needs to get exposure. People need to be thinking about these things because things are changing very, very quickly, and we don't want to fail our children. This is not the type of society we want to leave them and we want them to grow up in. It's up to us, guys. But get in the comment section and let me know. Have you heard about stories like this? Any other stories? What do you think about this story? As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, guys. Thank you for listening. I'll check you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.